guys, welcome back to my channel, and for those of you who are new, go ahead and click that button. Today we're actually going to be talking about something that I've spoken about before on YouTube, and that topic is moving out. Now, before I filmed a moving out for the first time, although when I moved out that time, I moved into an efficiency, so there was other minor factors that I didn't really notice that I left out of that video, and there were so many things actually that I left out of that video that I wanted to go ahead and redo this video, because as of today we're actually filming inside of a new studio inside of my new apartment. So I want to share with you guys all of the tips and tricks that I figured out along the way of moving into my new place, and I want to go ahead and share it with you. So if you guys are interested, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. So before figuring out where you're going to move into, you need to settle a price range. Now, the quickest way that I honestly think of figuring it out is divide your income that you make monthly by 3, and whatever that number that you get on the calculator will be the maximum amount that you can pay for rent. Now, if you're like me and you don't want to be spending 2/3 of your income on utility bills, regular bills, and rent, you can go ahead and try to manipulate the formula and see if you can figure out rent and utilities in one division, so the other 2/3 of your makings can actually be spent on you, and that's it. The first time that I moved out, I thought I had a lot more money to spend on living costs, and you realize how much money you're putting into something and it's just for an everyday purpose, and you don't really want to be spending all your money on a place to live in. So what's the point of having your own apartment if all of your makings go straight into rent? Do you understand me? But I actually go more into depth with it on the other video, so I'll go ahead and actually link that down below for you guys, so you guys can actually check it out in the description. So once you figure out your price range, now this is where the fun part starts, and you guys actually get to venture out and start checking out places. I originally had started with apartments.com, hotpads.com, rent.com, etc. You guys get it. But I'm going to be quite frank with you. I understand that Craigslist, it's not the best place to look for places, but the place that I actually found today that we're filming in was found on Craigslist. Like, I was actually able to find this listing on Craigslist, and it wasn't listed anywhere else. It was only listed on Craigslist. So this was like one of those hidden gems that I was fortunate enough to find. So keep that in mind. Just keep more of like an open mind when it comes to looking for places, because you can even find them sometimes driving along the side of the street. You have no idea how many times I've seen a for rent sign up and it just has a phone number listed underneath. You guys can totally check those out. Now, following that, of course, if you guys are moving out of a different place and you guys are moving into a new place, you guys do have to reassign those bills to that new place. But if you are moving into a new place, then those bills, you basically have to start up an account, link it to the new place that you're moving into, and depending on your credit score, that dictates whether you have to pay a deposit or not. I will tell you that, for example, I live in Florida. We use FPL, Florida Power Line, and they charged me a deposit moving into this place because I didn't have an account before, and they charged me the deposit to activate my account. So the only way that I could get the account set up was if I put the deposit down. Now, you do get reimbursed for it at the end of the year, so you know, it's kind of like a security deposit in a place, basically, like you get it at the end of the year. Sorry guys, the boo thing's calling. Hello? What's up, honey? What happened? She didn't want to give us back the deposit? What do you mean, no?
A few moments later.
Bye. Alright, so that was actually my boyfriend calling in about the deposit. My old landlord is like so freaking bad because I had a week-to-week rental. A week-to-week rental means that you do have a lease. You have a form of a lease, but instead of paying monthly, you pay weekly. And the reason why was because both me and my boyfriend, our credit score wasn't high enough for them to rent it to us monthly, so they gave it to us as a weekly rental. Now, we did tell them that we were going to move out a week before our lease had to be renewed, and now our landlord is trying to tell us that she's not going to give us our deposit because we didn't give her enough time in advance. You know that the lease was up. Like, why are you not going to give me my money? Like, that's just, it's absolutely ridiculous, just absolutely ridiculous. As we were saying, so when you go into a new place, you have to have bills assigned there before you move in. Now, the following thing, after you go ahead and you assign your bills to your new place, you have to go ahead and decide whether or not you guys are gonna have a U-Haul, movers, cable, internet, etc. Now, I do recommend that you install your cable or your internet the same day as move-in day. Now, the reason why I say that was because when I moved into this place, I had the issue that we weren't able to assign I guess a technician to the location on that Friday that we moved in. So that person had to come in on Saturday. We had a huge wire issue and they basically had to go into the back of the wall. Like, he basically climbed up the attic and went to the back of the wall and just started doing stuff with the wires. He was here for a couple of hours. Now, that was the only day I basically had off of work, and let me just say, having to spend it here waiting for a technician to finish his job was not what I was planning on spending my Saturday doing. So just don't be me and plan it the day of moving in. Okay, so I do have another tip, and it's about the U-Haul. Now, when I moved in here on Valentine's Day, which was actually on a Thursday. It was the day before the Friday that we were moving out of the other place. Basically, like, while everyone was out like getting chocolates and, you know, going to dinners and stuff, I was here moving into my new place. Like, that's goals right there. Like, that's relationship goals, like when you don't even celebrate Valentine's Day anymore. Yeah, so for the U-Haul, I rented the U-Haul for about 6 hours because a 1 to 2 bedroom for just, if you have no movers, like they say that it typically takes between 6 to 9 hours depending on how much furniture you're carrying. I went ahead and rented it for 6 hours. It was the minimum, but that was because they didn't have any U-Hauls available that morning. They only had it available at 4 o'clock. I think that was that 4 o'clock was the time that I picked it up. But because the place closed at 9 that day, they basically like did not know what time I was gonna drop off the vehicle. The place was gonna be closed at the time that I was supposed to be dropping it off at. So I basically had the U-Haul for a whole day and only paid like 6 hours for it. I ended up returning it around, it was supposed to be returned at 10 o'clock at night. I returned it at like 2 a.m. in the morning. The amount that they charged me, which was basically $40 that day, ended up sufficing. Like, that's all that I paid for the move out day. So yeah, so if you guys are actually able to do that and get the U-Haul in the afternoon, maybe you guys can actually like do it the way that I did it and maybe have it a couple of more hours and save, like, you know, a couple of dollars throughout the move out process. Like, if you guys can keep this in mind while you guys are looking at the place, make sure that all your plumbing is totally fine. Like, please make sure that all the sinks are running properly and running smoothly, that the toilet flushes, that your drain doesn't need to be snaked, anything like that, because if not, like, I kid you not, like, association's not going to fix it after you move in, 1. 2, evidently speaking, it's going to take longer for association to fix it rather than having someone you call in to come fix it. My boyfriend's a plumber, so that saved me because I had that instance happen that our sink in our kitchen area was not working properly, and basically he was able to fix it. We didn't have to go through association or anything like that, but my boyfriend's a plumber. Like, unless you have a plumber living in your house, you should keep that in mind. Another tip that I also have is, like, the #1 way that you consume energy in your house is the AC. I do know that I did cut like half of my electric expenses by doing this, and this was by shutting off the AC throughout the day while no one's home and only having the AC on while people are home. Now, this is a common factor. I think a lot of people really do this, but the way that I do it, and this is the way that my mom advised me to do it, this is basically what she told me to do. She told me shut off the AC like 100% throughout the day. Now, the way that you do that, because I know that older thermostats, if they're not like not the electric ones, like the straight up, like the little tiny regular, like rectangular looking ones, not the circular, like smart ones, those basically, they don't have an off button, they don't have an off switch. If you set the AC between, I think the measurements are between 75 to 85 degrees, that's considered room temperature and like on the AC unit. If you go less than the 75, clearly it's gonna show like a little snowflake icon, and if not, it'll change color like on the thermostat, like it'll show like a blue color, if not like a green color, and that's basically hinting off to you guys that it's telling you that it does need to use like more energy to cool down the AC. So that's like something that, like, keep that in mind, like for the AC unit. And then of course, like if you go above, I think 85, it's the heater now. So like it should have like a hot symbol showing on there. I don't know what the hot symbol is. I never turn on the heater. Like I said, I live in Florida. We do not use heaters in Florida. I hope you guys like honestly see like the whole difference now with this video compared to the other one that I originally filmed. Like we lived in an efficiency, so all of our utilities were included. So because of that, I never really understood the stress that it was to have regular monthly bills on a regular basis and things like that. Like I just had one bill technically a month, and that was just to pay rent. It wasn't that I had multiple bills to live and like have everything, you know, calculated at the same time and things like that. But that's actually another advice. If you can honestly level them out and have everything due around the same week or roughly around the same due date, it makes things so much easier for you to remember to pay everything on time. Like everything that I have is assigned on the 1st. Everything that I have due is on the 1st of every month. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and like and comment down below and let me know what you did like about this video if you guys did enjoy it. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a good one. I hope I see you guys soon. Bye.